Hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So today they released the biggest update they have ever released, I think at least, alright? It's very big. And alright, before I start the actual video and show you everything that got changed and added and stuff in this update, please subscribe, alright? I spent so much time making this video. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna separate this video into 7 parts. Alright, the first part is new guns, second part is new conversions and ammo types, third part is attachments, fourth part is balance changes for conversions, ammo types and guns, fifth part is maps, sixth part is melees, and seventh part is my final thoughts about this update. And with nothing further to do, let's get right into the new guns, starting with the 𝙬𝙤𝙬𝙬. The 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 is a very powerful submachine gun with an unlock rank of 88. Its base damage is 37 to 18 with a damage range of 32 to 132. But you should not use it without a long barrel, which makes its ranges much better. The 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 has a very high fire rate for an AK variant and very high accuracy for an AK variant once again, and it reloads at light speed. I think it has a 1.9 second reload, which is absolutely crazy. And it also has 2 conversions with it, the 9mm conversion and the 7.62 conversion. I personally would recommend using the 7.62 conversion, but the 9mm conversion isn't bad. It basically makes it better at medium range. It has lower recoil and better damage ranges, but worse maximum damage, but it can still free hit kill in CQC. The 7.62 conversion, on the other hand, increases your fire rate, makes your recoil kinda goofy, and increases your damage ranges, I think, with and increases your damage by a lot. I think it's like 42 to 22 or something. It's a lot, alright? But that's a 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬, and my recommended setup for this gun is reflex, long barrel, folding rip, full stock, and normal ammo. I just think it works the best currently. There's probably some better setup out there, but that's my personal opinion about it. The next gun that got added in this update is the PP Bison. The PP Bison is a pretty solid SMG too. It has an unlock rank of 105 and it's not top tier by any means, but I like how it plays out anyways. It has a damage of 34 to 18 with a damage range of 50 to 100, which means it's mainly used for CQC and it doesn't have a long barrel to make its medium range efficiency better. But I really like this gun because this is more of a gun that I've always kind of wanted. I didn't really want it to be overly powerful or anything, I just wanted it in the game generally, and now it's here. But it's actually pretty solid. It has, I think, 54 bullets in a magazine, and it actually goes quite hard in CQC, by, you know, kind of surprising. And it also has conversions. There's a 9x18 conversion, which you should not use. Do not use it, just don't. It's garbage, just don't use it, alright? And the 7.62 conversion, which is what you should use, alright? You should use this over the normal ammo, because it's actually very powerful. I think it has a damage of 36 to 20, and it doesn't have a lot of recoil either. And so basically, the PP Bison is a very solid SMG, but it has a very high unlock rank, so I wouldn't actually suggest buying it, but if you want a PP Bison, go for it, I guess. The setup I would recommend for this is reflex sight, compensator, folding grip, full stock, and 7.62 conversion. The next gun we have is the worst assault rifle that has ever touched Phantom Forces, which is the Type 88 that is unlocked at rank 122. It's so garbage, it's so bad. It has 34 to 20 damage with 600 RPM and recoil that, oh my god, you can't hit anything with this recoil. It's so bad, it's actually garbage. It has a regular magazine at conversion, which makes it have lower recoil, which is somewhat usable, I guess, but I would still not use it. And it has another conversion known as 7.62 conversion, which makes it very powerful actually. Maybe not broken, actually it's okay-ish. It has a lot of recoil, a damage of 41 to 29 I think, and an RPM of 650. This is more of a medium range gun and you should not really use it at long range because of the fact that its recoil is absolutely crazy, alright? But without its 7.62 conversion, it's complete garbage. Like, don't use it, don't buy it, never use it, alright? And at last but not least, we have the grenade launcher at rank 79. The grenade launcher is it's not even a grenade launcher. Technically it is, because it fires a sponge grenade, but it doesn't explode like your normal grenade launcher. There's a lot of conversions for this gun, which I don't want to name all. I'm just going to name 2 of them, which is a sponge conversion and what is it called? The exotic slugs, which may be just the only useful things in the for grenade launcher. Actually, sponge conversion isn't even good. Just use normal buckshot and exotic slugs. All right, it's not a good secondary. All right, it's literally a BFG, but not good. All right, the BFG isn't good. This isn't good. Just don't use it. All right, please. But those are the 4 new guns added to the game. But let's get on to the conversions with a brief summarization of what they do. So there's a ton of conversions, like there's a ton. I'm telling you, alright? The first conversion we're gonna start with is the slap ammo for 50 BMGs. Basically what this does is that it removes your torso kill range. You basically cannot kill anyone to the torso, and gives you a 20 stud penetration depth, which is not useful in the slightest. 10 studs is enough. The next conversion or attachment is the 35 round Galil attachment for the AK-103 and AK-105. Basically what this does is that it decreases the maximum damage while increasing the minimum damage. And I'd say this is actually very useful, because it has 35 rounds, very low recoil, and if you combine it with a long barrel, it's crazy at medium range. Next up we have the PPK-12, which is a conversion for the AKU-12, also known as the 9mm conversion for the AKU-12. This is the best burst rifle in the entire game, best burst weapon in the entire game. It's crazy good. It kills headshot, it has practically no recoil, and it will murder you from basically any range if it sees you, alright? The PPK-12 is nothing to underrate, basically underrate. Next up we have the 300 blackout conversion for the AG-3. This is basically, it gives it more maximum damage while not changing the minimum damage and giving it more recoil. So the whole point of this is for it to become a slightly better CQC weapon and slightly better medium range weapon. And that's basically what it does. It does it perfectly, I'd say. Alright, it's good at medium range and it's good at CQC. And its long range performance is basically halved. You should not use it at long range. Next up we have the 3006 for the DBV-12, which is basically a DMR conversion, which makes it able to 1-hit kill headshot up to like 90 studs I think, and 2-hit kill torso all ranges, which is respectable. It has 20 bullets and 200 RPM, which is actually really good, but I personally wouldn't use this over, let's say, the SVU or the SSR. But it's a cool conversion nonetheless, alright? Next up we have 9.3mm Lancaster for the SVU and SVDS. I'm gonna start with SVU because they do completely different things. So for the SVU you get generally more damage, garbage muzzle velocity, you can 1-hit kill headshot all ranges, and you can 1-hit kill torso up to roughly 30 studs with a long barrel. Alright, and personally I feel like this is not good. It has 90 RPM, which is pretty good for a gun that can 1-hit kill headshot all ranges, but because of the fact that it has a muzzle velocity that will kill it, alright, you will not be able to hit stuff generally. It's not the best thing in the world. It's not bad by any means, but I would rather use the normal SVU, alright? Next up we have the SVDS, which is garbage with the 9.3mm Lancaster, because the Y2000 has its own little conversion, which makes it better in almost every way possible, alright? The SVDS can 1-hit kill torso up to roughly 90 studs I think, but it can't even 1-hit kill headshot all ranges. But neither can the Y2000. But the main difference between these two conversions is that the Y2000 can 1-hit kill torso up to 100 studs and has a muzzle velocity of 3000. Meanwhile, the SVDS has a muzzle velocity that is a complete nutsack, alright? So basically do not use 9.3mm Lancaster for the SVDS. You can use it for the SVU, but I wouldn't recommend it. Next up we have the 50 GI for G17 and G18, which I personally think is pretty okay-ish. It's an M1911 basically. The G17 is okay, it 2-hit kills torso up to, I don't know, 40 studs or something like that, which is okay. G18 is automatic with the same torso kill range, but you run out of bullets so incredibly fast that makes its effectiveness meh, alright? It's more of a panic weapon in the end. Would I recommend it? I wouldn't know. I just use the 93R or something. Next up we have 5.56 for the Groza 1, which gives it more maximum damage and less minimum damage. It can basically 2-hit kill headshot in CQC, and 3-hit kill limb in CQC, and 6-hit kill limb at long range. It actually does the job pretty well as a CQC gun, and I would actually use this. I would actually recommend this. So yeah, I will recommend it to you guys. 5.6 for 𝙬𝙧, thumbs up from me. 410 bore for Henry. It's a shotgun. It's a shotgun Henry. What else could I say? It's somewhat usable. I wouldn't use it, but it's somewhat usable. There's also the 30-30 conversion for the Henry, which basically makes it have 6 bullets in its tube, fire at 120 RPM with a torso kill range of 30 studs and slightly better muzzle velocity. Would I use this? No. Is it cool? Yeah, but I wouldn't use it, and you know, you could use it if you want to. It shoots pretty fast. Is it that useful? Not really, but you could use it if you want to. Next up we have 300 Blackout for the HK416, which is complete garbage because of the fact that Hollow Point literally does the same thing as this, except it doesn't reduce its RPM and it doesn't have 19 minimum damage at range. So the Hollow Point is better than 300 Blackout on the HK416, and basically do not buy it, alright? It's not useful in the slightest. Next up we have L2A3 with 45 ACP. What should I call it? This is basically a weaker M3A1, alright? Technically it's stronger, but realistically it's weaker, alright? It can 2-hit kill limb up to roughly 30 studs, and 2-hit kill torso up to like 40 studs. Meanwhile, the M3A1 can 2-hit kill torso up to like an absurd range, let me tell you that. It's more than 50 studs or even 60 studs. But it's a good attachment, I'd say, because it has higher fire rate than M3A1. But I honestly wouldn't use it over the M3A1, because the M3A1 is still better than this attachment, alright? Next up we have 22 rad shots for the M1911. No. Next up we have the Mark 11 500 Phantom, which has the worst muzzle velocity in the entire game, excluding shotguns with birdshot. This is actually okay in CQC. It can 1-hit kill torso up to roughly 30 studs, and it has pretty good medium range potential because it can 2-hit kill torso, 2-hit kill limb in medium range and 1-hit kill headshot in medium range, which is actually very solid. Next up we have Mosin and Obrez 8mm. I'm not gonna even talk about the Obrez 8mm, I don't think it's useful, and Mosin 8mm is not useful in the slightest either, because it's literally just a Henry with half the RPM. Like, it has basically the same torso kill range as the Henry, but half the RPM. It's not useful, alright? Do not use it. Next up we have the MP5K10. It's a 10mm conversion for the MP5K, which gives it 36 max damage and keeps it 19 minimum damage, alright? It's actually very, very useful in CQC because of its insane handling and fast fire rate, alright? I would definitely use this. Would I use it over the MP510 though? Probably not, but this is actually very good, alright? Next up we have the 7.62 conversion for the RPK-12, which is incredibly powerful. You can 3-hit kill torso all ranges, it has almost 3 studs penetration, it has 700 RPM, it's actually really good, but the one thing that drops it back so much is its recoil, alright? Its recoil is very high, which is a bummer to say the least. Would I use this? I would probably use it, but I wouldn't use it over the RPK or like the FAL 50 generally. Next up we have a bunch of conversions for the Saiga 12 and Saiga 12U, starting with the 9.6mm Lancaster. I'm only going to talk about the Saiga 12 because I don't feel like the Saiga 12U is useful with any of these, honestly. So the Saiga 12 with 9.6mm Lancaster is practically an SVDS without a torso kill range, making it meh. Alright, I wouldn't use it personally. Sure, it has 70 RPM, but its recoil is worse than the SVDS, I think, therefore making it, not that effective generally. Next up we have the 308 conversion for the Saiga 12, which is a battle rifle with hella recoil. You can free kill torso all ranges, and it has pretty high maximum damage. Would I use this? Not really, because like its recoil is absolutely crazy. But there's the 7.62 conversion too for the Saiga 12, which is practically the same thing as the 308 without its free kill torso all ranges. It has slightly lower recoil and in the end acts like an AK-47. Would I use this over the AK-47? No, I wouldn't use it over the AK-47 because it simply doesn't, it isn't better. And at last but not least, we have the 223 Remington conversion for the Saiga 12, which I find the best out of all these conversions because of the fact that it simply has no recoil. It's an AK-74 with no recoil. Yeah. And if you're using these conversions, make sure to put on full auto conversion, because of the fact that if you don't put on full auto conversion, you will not have them full automatic, and you will have to tap by your dumbass 223 Remington thing. Next up we have 9mm for 𝙎𝙬𝙬𝙬, 𝙎𝙬𝙬𝙬, and 𝙎𝙪𝙤𝙬. They all do generally different things. The 𝙎𝙬𝙬 is ultimately a 100 round C7A2. It has pretty mediocre damage, but crazy damage ranges. It has very low recoil, and it has 100 bullets with a fast reload. I would definitely use this as it's a top tier weapon, and it kind of crushes almost everything, alright? Next up we have the 𝙎𝙬𝙬, which is practically, it has a different take on the 9mm conversion for, you know, the 𝙎𝙬𝙬. Like, the 𝙎𝙬𝙬 here focuses more on damage, less than, you know, ammo capacity. Like, the 𝙎PW with the conversion has 50 bullets, 𝙎𝙬𝙬 has 100, the 𝙎𝙬𝙬 has 33. But the 𝙎𝙬𝙬 with a muzzle booster generally is an MP5 with 20 minimum damage, which is absolutely crazy. I would definitely recommend this because it does go incredibly hard. It has 34 to 20 damage, by the way. Next up we have the 𝙎PW, which is basically a mini 𝙎𝙬𝙬 with the same conversion, since it has 50 bullets, kind of bad damage, and crazy damage ranges. It's like a baby 𝙎𝙬𝙬 with 9mm. I would actually use this because this has crazy fast reload and crazy handling. This is actually kind of crazy, alright? Next up we have another conversion for the 𝙎PW, which is a 7.62 x 51mm conversion. Basically what this does is that it makes a 2-hit kill torso in CQC, it only has 20 bullets, and I think it keeps the same RPM, and it can 3-hit kill torso up to 163 studs with a long barrel, which is kind of crazy. Would I use this? I would actually, because it's actually really solid in the end. Because of 3-hit kill torso up to 163 studs with very low recoil and fast reload is actually kind of crazy. Next up we have the SPAS-12 pump conversion thing, alright? It sucks, don't use it, it's 90 RPM and it has garbage spread, just use like the Case-23M or something. Next up we have duplex for TAR-21, which is don't use it. Next up we have triplex for X95, no. And next up we have VPO conversions for the RPK, which means it's basically a shotgun. I don't know why we needed this, but it's a shotgun now. Yes, awesome, right? And the last conversion we have is a semi-auto conversion for the AA12, which basically gives it tighter spread, lower RPM, and it's really good actually. I'd call this a better Saiga 12 in the end, and you know, I would use this, but I'm not a degenerate, but I had to use it for a video, so that's a problem. Next up we have new attachments, alright? We won't talk about all the new grips because I haven't, you know, really gotten the fundamentals of them, so I will only talk about the skeleton grip. So they have added new sights and scopes, and those are the Global Offensive Scope, which is the AWP scope from CSGO, the FF3X Night Vision Scope, which is it's a night vision scope. It's not that useful, I wouldn't use it, and then there's the Plague Insight with a cool little feature to it, which is if you press T, you get a 1x zoom or something, I don't know. It's not useful either, alright? But here's one attachment that is crazy good. The skeleton grip. It's basically an upgrade for basically every sniper there is, except like the M107. It's actually crazy good. Basically what it does is that it worsens your recoil while making your ADS speed faster, which is very useful for bolt action sniper rifles such as Intervention, TRG, Remington 700, whatever, alright? The skeleton grip is the meta for sniper rifles. They have added bars barrels for AK-103, AK-115, AK-12, and basically what they do is, this is about the AK-103 and AK-115, is that they increase your RPM, make you have virtually no kick whatsoever, and makes your maximum damage and minimum damage worse, I think. And I personally wouldn't use this without the Galil magazine for it, but you could use it without it, because the AK-103 has crazy horizontal drift, and so does the AK-105, I think. The AK-12 is a different story when it comes to bars barrel, because of the fact that it only has a burst mode and 19 minimum damage, therefore it sucks, alright, it's garbage, don't use it, alright. They had a long barrel for AK-12C, SVU, and Vector. The SVU is the only one that really has use for this, and it practically becomes the best DMR in the entire game because of the fact that it can one-kill headshot up to 225 studs, completely annihilating the 𝙎𝙤𝙧 one-kill headshot up to 166 studs, therefore making the SVU today's biggest winner. They added a full stock for the SVDS, cool. A carbine barrel for the MAC-10, which I feel like is very powerful, maybe too powerful in a way, maybe that's just me, but it practically has no, okay, it has a lot of recoil, but it's very accurate, like it's super accurate, and it has crazy damage ranges, practically making the MAC-10 the best SMG in the entire game. Maybe that's just me, but it's actually kinda crazy. They added a heavy bolt for the MG3, which makes it shoot slower with basically laser recoil. No, this doesn't make the MG3 good, don't use it, just use the 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙬 or something, I don't know. They added a 35 round magazine for the PPSH, which is not useful because it takes up a grip spot, which is, you know, you need a grip spot. Alright, and the last attachment they added is the oil filter, which reduces your damage ranges, reduces your fire rate by 20%, and makes your gun, like, it makes your gun very, very quiet. And those were all the attachments added. So I'm gonna divide the gun the balance changes into two parts, alright? Gun balance changes and ammo slash attachment balance changes, and general balance changes in the end, such as the general LMG changes and shotgun changes. So let's start with the gun changes, starting with the AA-12 now has a choke of 2.9 from its original 3.7, but 20 round drum increases the choke to its original choke of 3.7. Is this useful? Yes, it is. I would actually use the AA-12 without 20 round now. AK-105 minimum damage increased to 20, and minimum damage range decreased to 110. This is practically a better AK-74 now, in my opinion at least, if you put Galil on it. AK-74 now has a minimum damage range of 150, originally 110, which means it now has better medium range efficiency generally. AKM now has its its original damage of 40 to 32. Which doesn't make it better, but it's cool to have. 𝙦 now has more recoil and less penetration. Its penetration went from 1.8 to 1.5, and this recoil increase basically makes the 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙗 the king of LMGs. The 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙗 is effectively the best gun in the entire game now. See, the C780 got its recoil increased, and long barrel does not make the cracking noise anymore, I think. Alright, and don't worry, this recoil increase is basically non-existent, you can still laser people. The DBV-12 now has a choke of 2.8, originally 3.1, which means it's tighter. Deagle 50 and Deagle 44 now has less recoil, which is pretty cool I guess. SVDS now has 10 more reserve ammo, and so does the SVU. The Executioner now has a max damage range of 55, which means it can one-kill torso up to 60 studs, which is completely broken. It's overpowered. It's one of the best guns in the game, and it shouldn't be allowed. The FAL 5063 Para got buffed. It now practically has very low recoil, it has more maximum damage, less minimum damage, and it goes kinda hard. I'd use this, alright? The G46K also got buffed. It now can 3-hit kill up to roughly 70 studs while 6-hit killing at range. This is more of a CQC gun now, which is actually nice, alright? Finally a G46 CQC gun, alright? LED6 no longer makes the loud noise, but it now has M60 suppression. Yes, literally, it has M60 suppression. Why? I don't know. M6 and A4 got buffed. It now has a max damage of 35, a headshot multiplier of 1.5, which means you can 2-hit kill headshot in CQC, which is pretty effective if I say it so myself. M1911 and M45 got changed. As a summary, they now can't 2-hit kill limb, but they can 2-hit kill torso up to roughly 60 and 50 studs respectively, which is still very effective for a pistol, you know? M60 got nerfed, which is... it's still very powerful. It got nerfed, but the M60 is still very, very, very powerful. But is it better than 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙗? No, it isn't. The MP412 Rex now has a headshot multiplier of 3, which means it can 1-hit kill headshot up to 110 studs with a long barrel. It's pretty gnarly if I say so myself. That's actually pretty nice. And the MP7 has now gotten its long-awaited penetration buff from 0.5 to 1.8. So, guys, go shoot through every wall you see, alright? 1.8 is crazy high, alright? Grips now affect the PPSH. Yeah, I didn't do that before, just so you know. The Remington 700 got buffed. Basically what this buff do is that it has slightly better handling and slightly better torso kill range. This torso kill range is negligible, but it's slightly better. It's not better than the TRG or the AWM or whatever, and I still wouldn't use it. The SC58 got buffed. I don't know why, it's a crazy gun already, and it got buffed even further. So it can now one kill headshot up to 50 studs, and yeah, yeah. The SKS also got buffed. It has faster reload speed, and it now shares its ammo pool with ARs, and it has faster fire rate. Alright, it's kind of crazy now. SL9, yes, the SL9, not SL8, it's a conversion for the SL8, can now one kill headshot all ranges. It's not very useful because of the fact that it has a muzzle velocity of 1500 stud per second, which is nothing, alright? I wouldn't recommend using this, just use the SCAR SSR or something. Y2000 now has more reserve ammo. Cool. The X95 SMG has better minimum damage now. It has a weird minimum damage of 18.2, which makes it able to 5-hit kill torso all ranges, which is pretty useful if I say so myself. Is it a top tier SMG now? No, but it's better, alright, generally. But that were the gun, that was the gun changes. That was a lot of changes, let's be real. Next up we have the ammo types and attachment changes. So the first up we have the 7.62 conversion for the A94. It now has 21 minimum damage instead of 24, which basically you should use it for CQC anyways. It doesn't matter, alright? It's practically the same efficiency. 300 Winchester for Y2000 is now more powerful in CQC. It can one-kill torso up to 100 studs now, but to do that now, it can't one-kill headshot all ranges. So I don't know what to feel about this. It's not very amazing. 22 long rifle for Vector is now better. What I mean by that is that it's automatic and can 2-kill headshot in CQC, but it still only has 10 bullets and it's not useful, alright? Actually, it's somewhat useful, but I wouldn't use it personally, alright? 5.56 for TCR is now slightly better, but it's still not good unless you macro, alright? It has 37 to 23 damage with 800 RPM and 30 bullets. It's like, you gotta macro it for it to become useful, I guess. And if you macro it, it's a crazy ass assault rifle, you know? Long barrel for Deagle 50 and Deagle 44 got buffed, and basically it increases damage ranges across the board. It increases your minimum damage range, increases your maximum damage range. It makes your Deagle 50 able to one kill torso up to 60 studs and one kill headshot up to 130 studs, which is too much for me, but you know, that's Phantom horses for you. G17 and G18 now have the extended mag in the ammo category, which means you can now have the Glock carbine basically, because of the fact that you can put on a 33 round magazine and a stock. And yeah, that's a carbine in my eyes at least. Flechette on Jury now has 90 minimum damage, and it generally is a worse gun. It's not like as its former self, you know? Speedloader got a balance change. Now it's a pretty simple change actually. So if you have a bullet in your cylinder and you reload, your reload will be 2.5% slower. But if you do not have any bullets in your cylinder, your reload will be 30% faster. So make sure if you're using the speed loader to have no bullets. So personally, this is really a deal breaker for me. I always reload with a bullet in the cylinder magazine or whatever, so I personally wouldn't use the speed loader anymore. Maybe that's just me. Straight pull got buffed, and it's absolutely crazy. It's oh my god, you can make your sniper semi-automatic, bro. Ever had a semi-automatic Star Scout? I don't think so. I love it. All right, the snipers are they're actually crazy now. All right. Next up we have the 375 J-Tag buff, which is still not good because of the fact that, sure, it's hit scan, but the main use of the intervention is its 150 stud torso kill range, which is, you know, what it's supposed to do. Is it not? 45 CNC now has worse range and can't 2-kill headshot anymore. If you wonder what 45 CNC is, it's a conversion for the C7A2, which practically makes it PDW, alright? The extended tube for the Serbu can now have 6 shells in total, and 5 shells. Okay, so it can have 5 plus 1, alright, 1 in the chamber. So it's 6 shells in total, and that's a lot. That's actually a ton. Fléchette got nerfed. Yeah, instead of it being a hard set 3 studs penetration, it now multiplies your penetration by 3. So most primary shotguns now have a penetration of 1.5 instead of 3. But there are some exceptions. For example, the Judge with Fléchette still has 3 studs penetration, which is, yeah, whatever. Silent, quote-unquote, nerf. Silent ammo nerf. It now has worse muster velocity, I think, and worse suppression. Yeah, you still don't keep using it. It's still very good. Type 37 buff. I don't even want to go. It's still garbage. Alright, it's still garbage. Type 37 is a conversion for the M3A1, which practically makes it Garbungo nutsack. Don't use it. Alright. UMP 40 change. It's practically the same efficiency as before. I don't really know why it got changed. I don't know. It's cool, I guess, that they changed it, but I don't know. It's practically the same efficiency as before. But that is practically every single change in the game. So let's get on to the new maps that they have added, which I personally completely dislike. Alright, so there's Collapse, which is a Halloween version.
Mirage.
Corruption, which is a version of Jungle. The Culling, which is a version of Bazaar. Evil Duck Castle, which is a version of Refinery. Eye of the Storm, which is a version of Highway. Fringe, which is a version of Rig. Long Nightmare, which is a version of Ravad. Limbo, which is a version of Warehouse. Gateway, which is a version of Ruins. Ghost Town, which is a version of Desert Storm. Otherworld, which is a version of Suburbia. Swamp, which is a version of Elevation. Sewers, which is an original Halloween map. Spider-Den, which is a version of Metro, and Jetty Attack, which is a version of Blizzard. What I feel about this map is that they're cool, alright? I'm just gonna say it, they look good, but gameplay wise, I hate them, alright? The spawns are completely garbage. Some maps you cannot see anything for some reason, and it's generally annoying to play on because you die by the dumbest things. And there's I mentioned the spawns. The spawns, what happened to the spawns? They're completely garbage. You can spawn in front of enemies. The enemies can spawn in front of you. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I think they even pushed it to the main maps. I honestly think this has to be the worst change that they have ever added to Phantom Forces ever, because the spawns should not be changed. I feel like spawning in front of enemies is not a good way to spawn, alright? But that's what I feel about the maps, at least. Last thing we have are the melees, alright? The melees are cool, I guess. There are a ton of new melees. Okay, so there's like 11 new melees. We have the Clementine, which is a guitar. The Dark Heart, which is a sword, kinda. The Maglite Club, which is it's a flashlight. The Noob Slayer, which is a Doom Sword. Pocket Knife, which is a pocket knife. Ritual Sickle, which is, slay your foes. Tanzanite Blade, Minecraft Sword. Tanzanite Pickaxe, Minecraft Pickaxe. Zircon Trident, Terraria Spear. Zircon Slam Sickle, Terraria Hamax, practically. And Void Staff can shoot lightnings, alright. But that's basically it. I don't have anything to say about the melees. I obtained them kinda fast, surprisingly. But my final thoughts about this update. I really like the changes, I like the new guns, I'll say that at least. I don't like the Type 88 though, nor the grenade launcher, but I do like the general changes and conversions. The one thing that I absolutely hate though are the maps. I'm just gonna say it again, they look nice, they are kinda beautiful, but they play awfully, alright? They do not play well, let's just say that. So my final rating of this update is 8 out of 10 without the maps and a 4 out of 10 with the maps, alright? I don't like the maps at all. So if you found this update video helpful, subscribe. Buy my merch even if I don't have any, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!